Morning, everybody. How are you today?
Morning.
So, before we proceed with our guest speaker, I just have a brief market overview for you today. So, we have information through June in California, and we have information through July for the nation, which is kind of odd, right? You would think they would be the exact opposite, but I want to go over those numbers with you. So, California's June resale market improved. This is for June, once again. Single family sales rose 4.1% from May and 6% year over year, while the statewide median price eased 2.8% month over month to $904,640, still 0.4% above June 2025. CAR attributes much of the monthly median price decline to a larger share of $1 million plus transactions or less than $1 million plus transactions rather than a broad based appreciation. Nationally, however, July existing home sales declined 1.7% month over month to 4,060,000 annualized sales as mortgage rates moved up from 6.43% to 6.66% during the month. The national median existing home price was $434,100, up 2% from a year earlier. Orange County outperformed much of the state in June. The Orange County median price for existing single family homes was 1,490,000, essentially flat from May, which was $1,492,500, but 1.4% higher than June of 2025. County sales increased 8% from May and 12% year over year. Supply was tight at 2.8 months, down from 3.3 months in May and 3.4 months 1 year earlier. Median market time was 25 days compared with 26 days a year earlier. This combination, higher sales, limited inventory, stable prices, and relatively quick absorption, suggests Orange County has not shifted into a broad buyer's market. Instead, it is a selective, affordability sensitive, seller leaning market. Well prepared and properly priced homes should continue to attract attention, while aspirational pricing and properties with condition, location, insurance, or HOA concerns will see greater buyer resistance. So for buyers, rate volatility matters at Orange County. Price points, payment sensitivity may create opportunities on homes that sit beyond the first few weeks. So what does that mean? Those first 2 weeks of putting a home on the market, it's critical in regards to how you price it. As prices are going to come down if you're not selling quickly, especially considering how high rates are right now. For sellers, the data supports confident but disciplined pricing, especially because the limited inventory environmental protects well-positioned price listings, but elevated rates reduce the margin of success when overpricing. So a couple of things that's happening right now, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they've changed their guidelines in regards to condominiums. They're going to be increasing the amount out of each payment for association dues for reserves from 10% to 15%. So that's a dramatic change. So condominiums are suffering in regards to any increase in valuation. And also what it could mean, many condominium projects may not meet their guidelines to get traditional conventional financing. They may be deemed to be non-warrantable, meaning you have to get a hard money loan. So that's something to keep in mind, as a matter of fact, when you're looking at information or you're looking at financial statements. And now lenders are going to be required to review the financial statements associated with condominiums. They're going to be reviewing further the reserves or the amount of reserves. So it's going to make it possibly more difficult for anything that's deemed to be a condominium, as a matter of fact. So keep that in mind. And it's something you should be looking at if you're representing a seller or buyer and looking at the financial statements for a condo. So it's going to tell you what the reserves are funded at. You see something at 80%, which is some of the best that I really witnessed. That's good, but I'm seeing a lot at 15 to 20%, and many of those are going to be considered non-warrantable condominiums, meaning you cannot get traditional financing. So that can very well pose a problem for you. So anyways, right now, I don't have the July information for sales in California, but I would suggest that July has slowed. I don't think there's any question about it, considering the increase in rates. Pricing homes, we see it all the time now. If you're not pricing it aggressively, no one's showing up and no one's buying these listings. So you need to convince your sellers they need to price it aggressively if they even want to get offers. No one is going to be coming in and saying, so what sellers typically say, well, they can make an offer. It just doesn't work that way. Buyers tend to think that the seller's not reasonable. I am not going to even attempt to engage in any activity. And I can assure you that prices are going to, on a home that's overpriced, they're going to get less money for it than if they price it aggressively to begin with. So we see evidence of that all the time in the office. So any questions about that? Yes, I'm
For the condominiums, where do we find, usually I just rely on the homeowner, which is probably not the best thing.
Well, I would assume if there's a lender, you can ask them if it's approved by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac.
But for reserve levels, how do we know that?
You're not going to know that until you see the financial statements and have the common interest disclosure documentation, as a matter of fact. So that's something you should be looking at, and that's in the financial statements. It'll just tell you exactly at what level the reserves are funded. But to think that out of every dollar now, instead of 10% or 10 cents going to fund the reserves, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac is going, they're increasing their guidelines of saying 15 cents out of every dollar must be going towards funding the reserves.
And is that coming from their HOA or where is it?
When you say where's it coming from?
Like as it goes from 10 to 15%, is that going to be, are they looking at the reserves amount, or are they saying like where are they getting that money?
Where are you going to get the money from? Well, unfortunately, here's the problem in most HOAs, not most, in all. It's the homeowners that sit on the board of directors, so they control what's going on. They're the ones who are going to dictate exactly how much money the association dues should be. So if all along they've continued to suppress artificially those HOA dues, the reserves are going to be underfunded. So what that means theoretically, that could result in a special assessment. Ultimately, if the condominium association wants to maintain the ability to have financing for, or to get financing through Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. And if they can't, that means interest rates are going to be higher and it's going to be suppressing values in a condominium project. So they're hurting themselves in regards to valuation of the product, by allowing these reserves to be underfunded and not increasing the HOA dues that are being assessed for each homeowner. So if you're representing a buyer or seller with reserves that are 15 or 20% only, it is probably most likely that what someone's going to witness will be an increase in regards to what the HOA dues are, or the likelihood of a special assessment certainly is very high. And then we're seeing condominiums. We're not witnessing the amount of appreciation that we witness in single family homes also. It's simply because of that. It's not uncommon to see $500 a month HOA dues, especially for older projects. Anyways, good news, huh? Rates are high. I think a number of us attended this Tom Ferry conference last week, and this is something I agree with. The belief is from many of these speakers that the market is not going to be changing, at least not for another year. And I would tend to agree. You think about the U.S. debt is at $40 trillion approximately. U.S. government's going to continue to borrow beyond, and there's a deficit of $2.4 trillion on an annual basis. More borrowing, that means investors are going to be requiring higher returns. And I don't think rates are going to go down anytime soon. But that could create opportunities for buyers simply because rates are higher, affordability is lower. So sellers who are aggressively, when I say aggressively, or overpricing their properties, they're going to be facing a difficult decision because it's going to sit on the market for a long time. So those people with cash or the ability to buy might be able to get a better purchase price. So there's something to give consideration to. a home sits on the market for a long time, it just is going to continue to come down in regards to pricing. So now, to help you
No, I don't want
excel in regards to marketing your properties, and
what say now? The rates are coming down.
you're gonna help us overcome our dilemma by the marketing activity that you're going to be talking about. And what is true, the other thing that I learned at this conference, and someone was good, social media is not just a big part of it, but using AI is now becoming a very big part of how you market your properties. And it takes a different approach, I would say, because what all of us probably do now, we're probably all using AI. And any of the results that come up, we all believe it. We think this is the gospel. I don't think we want to take that. We shouldn't take that for granted, but we are taking that for granted. We just make an assumption that the results are accurate. So now there are ways that maybe you can use that to your advantage, and it requires a different approach, I would say, in regards to marketing. And that's what you're here to discuss today, correct?
Correct.
All right, so let's welcome Cecilia.
Good morning, you guys.
Good morning.
I gave this presentation last Thursday. Joanna was there. I made a couple of changes because started doing a little bit of research, and this is going to change everything. This is already changing everything. So I'm going to try there's a lot of things here, so I'm going to try my best. Please feel free to interrupt me if you have to. If I'm going too fast, please, just raise your hand, because this is very exciting for me too. So I just get okay. Let's do this. Social media and AI for real estate agents. I normally gave this class. I've given it before, but I focus solely on what you should be doing, kind of like the cycle you should be implementing with social media. But now I'm adding AI, and I think it changes a couple of things. Okay. Oh, sorry, no. There we go. Where we left off, I covered where your audience is, what to post, how often, the AI model, Canva, meta workflow, all of that still works. It sounds a little maybe too much, but who your audience is, I don't know if you remember, you need to figure out a farm. Who's living in that farm? What are the demographics of that farm? We covered that. What to post? You need to talk to these people, right? How often? There's formulas there. The AI model to create content. This is about productivity. Before, maybe you could create a couple of posts. Now you probably can create 30. The meta workflow is now you can cross post. If you use Meta, you can also post on Instagram and Facebook at the same time. That still works, and I'm not here to talk about that. Okay? Today, I'm going to talk about one idea that changes why you post, what has changed with AI, and one system you can run in 1 hour a week, and other things you can do too. Still true, though. Consistency beats frequency. I think consistency in life, whatever it is that you do, creates success. Just iteration and patterns creates results. Visual consistency, trust, branding is still a thing. 2 posts a week minimum. This is the floor. Show your personality. In a world of AI where everything is being copied, you being a little out there or showing your real personality is what actually counts right now. You don't need to be perfect. This is really important. A lot of people are afraid to oh, I don't know. What are people going to say? I'm too old. I'm too young. I know. I don't know. Just do it. Before I told you 98% of buyers start online. That is still true. The shift now is social media's role in this. Technology hasn't replaced the personal referral. It has changed what happens immediately after someone hears your name. 88% of buyers bought through an agent. 91% of sellers used one. 43% of buyers found their agent through a friend or relative. Most people work with referrals, you guys. 66% of sellers used a referral for an agent they've worked with before. FSBOs right now on all-time low. Agents are not being replaced. What does this mean? We need to reframe social media, because what happens is, hey, I listened Mary Ann Morris, a real estate agent in San Clemente, and she was recommended to me. What am I going to do? I'm going to look her up. Am I going to find her? Social media platforms are conversion and referral surfaces. It's where a lead who already found you decides whether you're real. Are you real? It's not a discovery surface for AI. Different job, different metric. Okay? So now, how I want you to focus on social media is you're building evidence of what you do. Let's keep that idea. Most buyers interview only one agent before choosing. One. Your social media has one job. Be good enough that referral survives the vetting score. Nobody's going to hire you because of a real. I've told you this multiple times. But when somebody looks for you, you better have a corpus of work that evidences that you are a real estate agent and that you work in an industry and that you work in a place that I want to live with. Live that with. Sorry. Yeah. So what changes? If your goal is reach, post as often as possible, chase trends and trending audio. Every post is a listing. Success equals views. You can chase the viral sounds, the viral everything, and you will get reach. You will have viral reels. If your goal is getting chosen, post consistently at a pace you can hold. Most people fail at social media because they start 1 month, 2 months, and they're like, I don't know what to post. I don't have the discipline. I don't have it. And then when I see whatever agent and I go and see where they are, their digital footprint, their last post, their last whatever it is from February 2022. Where has this person been? So figure out what your floor is. What can you actually do consistently? Every post answers a real client question, and this is key, and we're going to see it in a second. Success is, I saw your post. You're the guy that did whatever it is. You're not building an audience. You're building evidence. So again, when I hear your name and I go to Yelp and I go to Google and I go to Instagram, et cetera, am I going to find you or you're just no one? Who is actually transacting? Last year, we looked at a generations chart. Here's a version that changes what you do. This is your seller, 64 years of age, lived in the home 11 years, 60%, 66% found their agent by referral. This person is a boomer. Where does this boomer live? On Facebook, 88%, Instagram 39, TikTok 20. Your buyer, 62. Median repeat buyer, an all-time high. First-time buyers, a record low, except for me. All cash at a record high. What he was saying, like, all cash, they created new opportunities for buyers. Gen X, Facebook, 88%, Instagram, 60%. The people actually transacting in Orange County are older than Instagram first strategy assumes. Your listing contents and your buyer content are not on the same platform. And the equity rich downsides are driving the 1 mil, 2 mil bandits on Facebook, not TikTok. So where are you putting content? To who are you talking to? What actually changed? Search, move into apps. How many of you go to Instagram, let's say, and spaghetti recipe, blueberry muffins, restaurants near me? Search, move into apps. People look up our neighborhoods and market questions inside Instagram and Facebook, write captions the way people ask, not the way agents announce. And into AI. Buyers now ask an assistant who to hire before they ask a person. This one is big enough that it gets its own 2 slides. So I did an exercise, which I'm going to show you right now. So I went to Plot. Plot is owned by Anthropic. And we're going to go through this exercise together. So I just wrote best real estate agent in Irvine. That was easy. I want you to see how it answers and just try to reverse engineer that. But we'll just in a second. Okay. There's no single best Irvine. Okay, I'm going to read it from here. Sorry. There's no single best. Urban agents tend to specialize by village and by transaction type. So the right pick depends on whether you're buying or selling and where. That's it. Here are the most consistently well-reviewed agents and teams working in the Irvine. The only person I know there is Michael May. Okay. So it gave me a ton of people, you know, but I wanted to pick for me. So then it tells me like why Google. So one is it's telling me like, okay, so these are the agents. It's telling me like, okay, now go through this, and this is what you should look for. Google reviews.
What was it that you typed in again to get the results?
Best real estate agent in Irvine.
I see. Thank you.
Not broker.
Let's be specific here. Okay. Google reviews are the weakest signal. Agents solicit them selectively, and 5.0 with 75 reviews tells you the agent asks happy clients to post. Now, Google reviews for AI work like this. Stars are the gateway. So first, it's going to see like, okay, Carlos has 100 and Joanna has 50. Carlos wins. But now I'm going to read Carlos's reviews. So if Carlos has a lot of reviews about his tenants, he's a leasing agent. He's not a buying agent. He's not a selling agent. Now, if his reviews, for whatever reason, don't say this person bought a house in Orchard Hills, where is he a listing agent? So we need to start figuring out how to put information out there. And specifically in reviews, maybe you could ask, and I'm going to see it in a second. If you're going to post a review for me, could you please tell me if you were buying, selling, or leasing, and in what village? That helps the AI crawler a lot. And in this exercise, we're going to see why it's so important. Okay, village specialization matters a lot here. In a world we're living in where everyone's copying everything, where one makes a reel and the other one copies it, and the other one copies it, and another one copies it. For AI, that's just nothing. So what's going to make the difference? Specialization. What's your farm? Who do you want to special? Are you going to work with? Yesterday I was looking at ads, and they're like real estate agents for seniors, real estate agents for first homeowners, first homeowners in, I don't know, Tustin. You have to be super specific about the audience that you want to get. Otherwise, and this is not for, I'm not talking about the person. I'm talking about how AI is reading it. Who are you? If you are not, help me with this word, classifiable. If you're not classifiable, you're a part of the rest, basically. Okay.
So Cecilia, I heard something today where they say B to B to C. So you have to go from business to bot
business,
to consumer.
It has to be both.
Yeah.
You have to be business to business and business to consumer. But okay. So village specialization matters a lot. So my recommendation here is specialize in your farm. Like really like own your farm. Like make people know you. Buying versus selling changes the answer. So I'm not going to go through this. So then he asked me like, do you know where you want to look for a realtor? And I said, Orchard Hills. Okay, Orchard Hills changes the picture meaningfully. And then he gives me a market update of Orchard Hills. I didn't ask for it. And it's telling me how to choose an agent. I'm going to go with it because I actually told him to choose an agent for me. So it gives me more information about Orchard Hills. And he then asks me, are you trying to buy or sell? Which part of Orchard Hills? I want to sell, and I'm not sure what part of Orchard Hills. And look at this. This is insane. Quick resolution on the sub-village question. If your community has 24-hour guard gate, you're in the reserve. If not, you're in the groves. That extension will drive your ComSec, so it's worth setting before any agent gives you a number. So if I choose an agent, if whatever agent this thing tells me, I already come with questions. I like, it's telling me like, when you meet this person, you need to ask these questions. So you really need to know your numbers. You are a consultant, so you really need to know what's happening in your neighborhood. Okay, so it's telling me all of this, what I should ask each agent you interview, commission, verifying your short list. And then, I'm so sorry. At first I asked them, give me the best agents in Irvine. But because I said Orchard Hills, it automatically said, like, well, let me see who makes it to the short list, right? So it says Paul Young, Jessica Hong, Irene, and Ricky Zangler. Okay? They all have documented Orchard Hills activity. And I'm going to tell you what documented Orchard Hills activity is. Okay. So then I said, okay, let's compare Paul Young, Jessica Hong, and Irene and Ricky Zangler to buy, sell, and lease. Tell me who I should go with if I want to buy. Tell me who I should go with if I want to sell or if I want to lease. The three profiles. Paul Young, Pacific Sterling Realty. But this is the important thing. Where is this thing getting its information? It gives you the sources right there. It's his Yelp profile. You can't really see it, but I'm going to tell you. Because this, I'm going to show you this guy too, because I don't know if anyone of you know him. Paul Young, Pacific Sterling Realty. And this is his website. So what I'm telling you here, I'm not going to go through it, but it came out with this response because Paul Young told it to. Okay, so he says he specifically markets a specialty in expired listing, meaning homes that failed to sell the first time. Reviews reference Woodbury, Travata, Cypress Village, Portola Springs, and Lake Fork. So it's not just, I love working with you, Mary. It's, can you please change your review to, hey, you sold my house in San Clemente. Thank you so much. Da, da, da. So now the crawler knows that Marianne has that specific activity. So what does this mean? Make sure that everywhere you put anything on, you put what people want. You want people to read what you want them to know. So in this case, this also, Paul Young says everywhere that he speaks Chinese, like everywhere. Jessica Hong and Steve Park also, and I don't know if you can see that, all of that information came from Jessica Hong's website, her LinkedIn page, and another one from Jessica Hong. So this is not what Richard said at the beginning. It was, are you going to believe the first thing you see? Yes, I am. This is how people act. I'm so sorry. This is the truth. So be like Jessica Hong and tell us what, tell this entity what you want them to see. Okay.
Cecilia.
Yeah.
So if you ask AI, tell me more about Michael Green.
Yeah.
It'll give you exactly what it thinks of your business, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can ask anything. And then I want to keep going. Okay, so for selling, I'm not going to go into it, but he recommended the same group. Okay, for buying, he recommended Hong and Park. And he gives me, like, if I read it, it's like, oh, this makes sense. Because it grabs information and it puts it together in a way that's like, 100%. Because for buying, Hong and Park have the clearest documented edge. A client describes them representing a new construction purchase in Irvine, attending design center meetings, advising on where to use the builder's design center versus whatever. So this person really cares, right? Okay. And then for leasing, and it recommends Mike and Mary Jaffarcani. Okay. And then he tells me what to do. And then I asked, explain your logic. Where did you get all of this info? Imagine I'm with the Jaffarcani team, the one it recommended to lease. What would you recommend me to do to improve my chances with LLMs, which is large language models? Okay, and this is interesting. I'm sorry if it's too much text, but I really think we should go through this together.
No, I think it's great.
Okay, cool. Where everything came from. Turn 1. I queried Google Places with top-rated real estate agents in Irvine, California, and real estate brokerage, Irvine, California. That returned name, address, rating, review count, phone, and the verbatim text of the top reviews. Your team came back in that set at 5.0 with 75 reviews. That was the entire initial candidate pool. So the first step is, who has the most reviews? Turn 2. Run Places again on Orchard Hills Irvine real estate agent. Your team surfaced again, then a web search on Orchard Hills market data, which returned Zillow, Redfin, Movoto, and a market update blog post from a competing agent that ranked because it contained specific CRLMS figures and named individual listings. And I'm going to go to that example because this is what you need to copy. I'm so sorry, I forgot about this. I believe, no, it's not this one, sorry. I really want to show you this, guys, but give me 1 second, please. Well, I don't know where it is, but basically what it was a guy from Coldwell Banker Realty. I don't remember his name. He has his website, and every single month, he has a market update for every one of his farms. So it has the houses moved, the houses sold, everything. And it changes every month. So what does that do? That gives retrievable information that is updated, not for people, for AI. Because I'm going to give you some numbers to tell you why you should really be figuring out how to talk to this thing. Okay. So where everything came from, turn 3, search Orchard Hills listing agents, mostly portal pages, plus a dedicated Orchard Hills landing page on Jessica Hong's domain. So because Jessica Hong had a specific page for Orchard Hills, she's like, this person works there. Why you got routed to leasing? This is part worth sitting with. You were in my candidate set from the first query and stayed in it. You didn't lose on quality. I have no quality data on anyone. You lost on retrievability. Everything retrievable about your team pointed one direction. The reviews Google surfaced mentioned Woodbury, a 9-year property management engagement, tenant acquisition, and an investment property converted from lease to sale. Nothing I could retrieve associated with you, with Orchard Hills, or with 3 million resale. That's it. Discard it. So when the user narrowed to Orchard Hills, I dropped you from the sales shortlist and slotted you in the leasing answer because your own surfaced content had told me that's what you were. Hong got in because she owns an Orchard Hills domain. Zhang got in because their blog names Orchard Hills. Young got in proximity and luxury seller reviews. I typecast you from 6 sentences of review text. That's the whole mechanism. What? I'm scared, you guys. Okay. What can then we do about this? What actually moves the needle? Public specific numbers repeatedly. What is happening in your market? Like, and Because again, if you specialize in your area, it's not going to be so difficult to track these numbers. And also you will become the actual authority of these numbers. The single most instructive thing in my whole search history is that a competitor's weekly market update outranked everything because it contained a median active list price, a median close price, name streets, list versus close figures, and days on market. So for the AI, it's like this. Let's say I'm not doing anything. I don't have any numbers. I just have a bio and featured listings versus a person that is weekly or bi-weekly or something, but updating these numbers. Okay, build village level pages with substance. In this case, if your farm is Orchard Hills, have a dedicated domain for Orchard Hills. Publish your sold history as plain text. This is a little tricky because this requires HTML. So basically what it is Google has something called crawlers. And these crawlers look for very specific metadata. So you ask whatever, and they scour the internet, and they look for these HTML, which is basically just code, with information like your name, your license, your phone number, basically your information. That's it, and that you are a buying specialist or leasing specialist in Orchard Hills. That's it. Reviews are evidence, not score. Google hands me a review text verbatim, and I reason from it directly. The 5.0 rating did almost nothing. The sentences did everything. You can't and shouldn't manufacture reviews, but you can ask satisfied clients to describe what actually happened. So I don't care, Richard, you're very nice. That is not good for Richard. I need Richard. Your brokerage in Irvine has really good services. Like I have to figure out a way to get these type of reviews from my clients. Otherwise, this thing won't even notice them.
So we can actually send them what to write in the review. So we can suggest Orchard Hills.
Yeah, I mean, also
Is that the whole key here?
I mean, it's not the whole key.
No, but part of it.
But it's part of it for sure. If you have a good relationship with this person, like, please help me out. Mm-hmm. Just describe the activity that we did, that it took place.
Then you said a separate URL for each farm area per se.
It's not a separate URL. It has to be a subdomain. So in this case, it would be richardmoore.com. richardmoore.com/Orchard Hills. It's just like subdomains of each farm. Mm-hmm. So it's not. Well, actually, this person, the Coldwell Banker Realty guy, the website was IrvineHomesForSale.com. So this guy was really good because from the beginning, he bought that specific domain. So that helped him to get in the first pool. So, yeah.
Cecilia, if it's a stars rating, like a Google stars rating, and if it's from a consumer, is it named differently than if it comes from the agent himself or herself?
It doesn't have like that better or worse. It just reads. So like maybe if the person didn't say anything about the transaction, maybe you can come answer. Like, it was a pleasure to work with you in the transaction in Orchard Hills, and I represented you, the seller, blah, blah, blah. So it takes the information. Yeah. Okay. So where were we? Tiki. Okay, so we were here. What actually changed into AI? Authenticity beats polish measurably. Buyers are skeptical of anything that looks like a commercial. Phone footage with your real voice outperforms the cinematic walkthrough. Because everyone's copying. I have this theory that the 90s are coming back, you guys. I think the minimal, the super curated, the almost AI feel like that everyone and everything is perfect is going to change. So if you are not feeling comfortable because it's just my video is not going to be professional and I need lighting and I need a mic no, just go to your neighborhood and start recording yourself because you already do it. Like most people see themselves on their camera at least once. So just start creating some video. Please do not use AI for this, because you are a consultant that is in one of people's most important transactions. They want to see the real you. They don't want to see anything mechanic. The DM replaced the link in bio. The conversion happens in the inbox, one DM trigger per post. The direct message on Instagram or the chat box on Facebook, that's where people are having conversations. Hey, are you interested in this listing? You need to start having conversations and just, accept that you're probably going to be uncomfortable. I'm telling you this because I am an introvert sometimes. So for me, this would be really hard, and I understand you, but I think you really need to do it. SEO is becoming AEO. So SEO is search engine optimization, which basically in the days of yore meant Google. You go to Google, you search for the best agent in Irvine, and then you would have 10 pages of real estate agents. Now, if you go to Google, the first thing you will see is Google overviews. That will tell you basically the exercise that I did with Claude, and then the 10 pages of links. Those pages are not getting clicked anymore. No one is going to the links. Everyone's staying with the first thing AI tells them. So to get your page to rank, you needed keywords and backlinks. What are the keywords? Your neighborhood, demographics, etc. The price, a click to your website. Your measure, traffic and rankings. You compete on volume of content. The more pages you have, like naming all of these things, the better. Now, get named is the answer. You win by reviews, citations, consistent info. The price, your name, say it out loud. Your measure, do you show up when you ask? You compete on specificity and trust. SEO got you found. AEO gets you recommended. Is AI going to say your name, you guys? So this was talking about what I was telling you about, that nobody clicks on links anymore. 68% of US Google searches now end without a single click. They're not clicking the pages. 20% plus of queries now shows an AI overview. Clicks are up 60% when one appears. 1 billion monthly users of Google AI. So this is the change. We're going to this. This is cool. A buyer types, who's a good listing agent in Woodbridge, and gets 3 names read back. That's the short list. Your marketing budget doesn't get a vote. You're either in the answer or you were never in the room. How to get cited? The first thing most LLMs look for, your Google business profile first. Claim it, fill it completely, post weekly, ask 5 past clients for a review this week. AI answers are grounded in maps data. Where you work, what your phone numbers is, your bio, your name. Write 5 answer pieces. Literally the questions buyers ask. Should I sell before rates drops? Best high schools in Irvine in 2026. Say the same thing everywhere. Specialty plus city plus results, worded identically in every bio and profile. Get named on other people's sites, your brokerage page, local press, association directories, community sponsorships. Most communities, like swimming pools or whatever, have websites. So if you're giving them money, ask for something in return. Okay, repurpose every answer. Rule, no orphan graphic. This is for social media. If you have amazing information on a carousel and you don't put a really good description, AI can't read text on video or text on graphics. You need a good description. No orphan graphics. If a carousel makes a claim, Woodbridge inventory up to 12, that claim also exists as an extractable text on a crawlable page, and the post points to it. Okay. This is the same one. I don't care about that.
So Cecilia,
Yeah.
it said write 5 answer pieces.
Yeah.
Where are they to post the 5 answer
Google profile, everywhere. Google profile, social media, on your website, the same information everywhere.
So you can make a page of frequently asked questions and then write the question and then write the answer.
Yeah. You have to really think about these questions. Like go with AI of your choice and try to, I need to come up with questions that my buyers and sellers are asking and also your real estate agents with transactions. What are they asking you on
You
open
can ask
houses?
AI too, right? What questions are buyers asking?
So when you write it, do you write the question and then the answer to it? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if I go and I see her profile and I'm like, what are the best schools in San Clemente? And I see that on her profile. Oh, the most important thing to me right now are the school districts. I'm going to talk to her right now, just by her Google profile. But then, if I also want to see other sources, if I go to her social media, then I'm going to see the same. And okay, you spend a lot of time thinking what to post. This is everyone's problem. You also have something nobody outside the industry has and most people inside never use. You have the MLS. One number pulled from your own farm becomes a post not other agent in Orange County can make because you are a specialized real estate agent. Not a template, not a trend. This is the system. Oh my God, is it hot in here? Okay.
Yeah, I'm turning the AC down.
Now I'm done. Okay. 5 steps under 30 minutes a week. Once you've done it twice. 1, pull 1 number from your farm. Sold, expired, cancel, days on market, price per square foot. Translate, because if you just give me numbers, I'm gonna be like, what am I gonna do with this? Translate into a homeowner's language. Not a median days on market is 41. But something like homes like yours are taking about 6 weeks. So what is dumb? I don't know. But if you tell me homes like yours are selling in 6 weeks, well, that's different. Interpret. Say what it means for them. The number is the setup. The interpretation is the value. Format. Carousel for comparisons. Reel for one sharp fact. Story poll for engagement. Stories are important. This is social media. If you're not doing a social media.
Can you help me understand what carousel part comparison means?
Okay, so carousel is, you're on Instagram or Facebook and you have images that you just with your finger do this. Those are carousels. So those would be like 5 mistakes you're making that can cost you $60,000. I don't know. I don't care. Mm-hmm. And then you swipe and then you read the information. That's a carousel. Reel for one sharp fact. Did you know that Prop 19 can save you thousands of dollars? That's a video. And the story poll for engagement is you go to a story and it's, do you know what Prop 19 can do for you? Actually, that sounds terrible because I don't even know what Prop 19 is. You have to, this is an example. You have to translate that. I don't even know what Prop 19 is, so I don't know what to say. But, something about taxes. And then you can have a poll in your story and say yes or no. And then that's how you start a conversation. And then trigger, end with a DM prompt. Direct message me the word Irvine if you're interested. DM me the word value if you want to know the price of your house. Where to pull from the CRMLS, Ocar market stats, your brokerage reports, free weekly OC housing reports. Okay. I know. Bear with me, you guys. There's everyone else.
It's a spirited presentation.
Okay, we're almost done, I promise. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Great.
Okay, how to actually pull it. 3 routes, pick the one you really do. The easiest one. Take 1 number from the free weekly Orange County housing report. 0 setup, 10 minutes. Start here if you've never done this. Let's say that now you have a farm. These are the people that are started. In CRMLS, set your city, property type, and a 6-month date range. Run the same search 3 times. Status, sold, then expired, then canceled. Write down 3 numbers. Your own deals too. Your last 5 transactions, days on market, sold versus list price. You already own this data and nobody else has it. If you can do or 3, just do 1. But the point is, again, never skip 1 week. This is the problem. If I could boil down, everyone's problem is you need to do it no matter what. Accountability is everything. Okay, this is an example for the expired listing number. 437 sold, 98 expired, 181 canceled. This is, okay, the translation. Roughly 4 out of every 10 Irvine listings that came off market came off without a sale. Not because the market is dead, 437 homes sold just fine, but it was because of the price. How do I translate that to a post? 4 out of 10 Irvine homeowners who listed last year never sold. The ones who didn't sell asked for $670 more than the ones who did. Same market, same 6 months. Common price, and I'll pull the real number for your street. So just with those 3 numbers, and if you don't really know how to interpret or how to translate, ask ChatGPT or ask, whatever you use. Okay, so your month, your 4 posts, the number proves you know the market, common market for your street. The listing proves you're working. If you don't have a listing, you can use our listings. The neighborhood proves you live here. Hey, I'm Cecilia. I live in Fountain Valley, and this is my farm, whatever. What's your favorite spot? The face proves you're a person. What should I answer next? What do you want to know about San Clemente? I don't care. If you only do one, do the number weekly if you can. Because as we spoke before, one thing that is retrievable for AI every time are numbers. What is the pattern in your market? Okay, the AI rule has flipped. You can use AI for scalability. Yeah. Scalability. Thank you very much. So I don't want you to come up with thousands of words and leave that for AI. This is what I want. You go make yourself breakfast, and then you have 5 posts with the numbers you gave it, blah, blah, blah. First drafts and caption options, translation into other languages. This is big, and I don't know if you want to take it. Every single time I look for anything real estate on AI, the first thing it says to me every single time is, you have to exploit other languages. Because everybody's doing their marketing, most people that I know are doing their marketing only in English. It's recommending Spanish and Chinese. I don't know if you are interested in other markets, but please pay attention to other languages. I did another exercise for my class, and it was with Holden and Shweta. And because Shweta had listed that she spoke 5 languages, that gave her more power over Holden. Because Holden doesn't even say he speaks Vietnamese because it's Sindhi. He just speaks English. And that wasn't good for him. Okay. So for content, use AI. The first line and the last line, the hook and the CTA, the call to action, are where you sound like a human being. Never, really read what you're creating and try to put a little bit of you there. AI for volume, you for voice. Okay, we're almost done. Everyone has the answer now, and this is also the question, because what I'm saying is not definite. Things are going to keep changing. So just keep an eye on these things. Corroboration beats self-assertion. You cannot tell a model you're the best agent in Irvine. It weighs what other sources say about you. Reddit, LinkedIn, you guys, is coming back. Most mentions on AI models come from LinkedIn. I don't know why, but LinkedIn is winning again. LinkedIn mentions now drive citations. Repetition, not one great post. Models learn from patterns across trusted places. They recommend brands that are easy to place. Who are you? You OC Realtor. Everyone here is an OC Realtor, you guys. But Irvine new construction, resale, things, people are looking for specific things. What's your specific thing? Your own data is the last thing AI cannot fake. It can synthesize every generic market recap. It cannot synthesize your closed deal, your block level DOM, your photos. Anything that required being there survives. Search rank pages, AI recommends people. Build the name, not the page. So I don't know if that was clear, but you know, build your name. Yes, you were saying something?
Oh, no, I was just going to ask for clarity and build the name.
So build the name is, I'm Richard Moore. I'm a broker for Coldwell Banker, Platinum Properties. I do these type of transactions. Like, be very clear on what you do and what your purpose is in ways that sound like answers for people, you know? Five things to end with this finally. I'm sweating. Okay, fix your bio in 6 places. AI tools pull facts about you from these sites. Vague or outdated bios cost you. Go update Google Business Profile, Zillow, Realtor.com, LinkedIn, Yelp, RealTrends. Claim your profiles. Realtor.com creates profiles on every single realtor. Most of them don't claim them. Pull one number from your farm, 4 numbers, 4 posts, sold, expired, days on market, 10 minutes, follow the system. This goes for social media because AI crawlers and social media is not the same thing as AI crawlers on Google and the internet. So on social media, you want to have those numbers and with the description of that what that is, that's on social media. But you also have to repeat it on all of those profiles. So the crawlers, the Google crawlers that are on the internet also read it. Ask clients to say where and what in their reviews. If you don't mind, it helps a lot if you mention the neighborhood and whether you were buying or selling. The whole county is not your market. One neighborhood is. Every agent claims the whole county. It reads as a resume, not an answer. The buyer already knows where they want to live. They need someone who knows that specific place well. Audit yourself, your farms, and your competition. Establish a baseline with questions when, like, if you ask, who is Marianne Moore to all of these LLMs, what's going to come up? And then you see, because it's going to tell you other people. You have to see, okay, so why did it retrieve this person's information? Most of them, it's not that this is right. It's just information that was out there. Okay? So establish a baseline, set benchmarks, review periodically, and course correct. This is not working, what should I do? And all of these course correct you can just do with ChatGPT. So I'm not asking you to like do, it's just you and your computer. Thank you.
Well,
I
that was a lot. What
know.
about any specific questions for Cecilia?
I think Masood had one.
His hands up. Yeah.
Hi, Masood.
First of all, thank you. That's great. I've heard you can probably like advertise on ChatGPT
Mhm.
separately. You know, to just put your name on it. Is there any way we can just work that out, or?
I think that the people that are selling that you can be on ChatGPT, unless you work for OpenAI or Anthropic and you know how these LLMs work, which not even people there know how they work, you're just wasting your money from what I've read. So it's better to improve your content. I mean, what they're probably going to do, but this is what I'm saying, you can do it yourself. Because they're going to have to create, what they're going to do is probably put your names in every directory out there. So what that does is that, but that people did that for SEO as well. So when Google crawlers go in the internet, it's like, oh, Masood does this. But that's what they're selling you. But they cannot guarantee that you will be in ChatGPT. That's impossible, from what I've read.
They also say it takes like 6 to 12 months before you start seeing any results.
Yeah.
Because they have to go in and do everything that she's talking about.
It's
They have
corpus.
to go in and populate all that data into all these different sources.
Time we did the same thing. We ran the same thing, but with like agents, top agents in Irvine. I think we were ago, and name popped up with this advertisement ad. It's not the one inch, whatever it was. It shows they were.
It came up as an ad after the results.
Oh, as an ad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
on ChatGPT.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Well, what was your example with Shweta?
Yeah, so when I go to ChatGPT and I type in who's the best Indian realtor in Irvine, California, and then Shweta
It
comes
goes
up
up very top.
as the result.
The only reason that happens is because if Shweta is anything, is consistent. I'm sorry, that's it. She does, like, she has her calendar right there, and she has a coach. I don't know if you need a coach, because you need someone to keep you accountable. Her success and Holden's success, and Mike has even said it here, it doesn't, nothing really matters if you're not consistent. So I think that's it. I think that's Shweta's success. I think that's Holden's success. Or Mike's is just they keep at it.
Yeah, they do social media content. They
Everything.
give reviews. They
Videos, they do mailers, they farm. So again, you're not an Orange County realtor. Just pick a farm. Be the best in your, like, make other, also, because AI is just creating a lot of horrible content. And by horrible, I mean it's just repeating and repeating and repeating. There's going to be a point, who has the truth? It sounds insane, but it's where we're going. So what is going to count at the end of the day? It's connections. So you really have to go out there and meet people. If you're sponsoring community events, like Shweta does this cafe things, or she sometimes has things here at the shredding events. Holden is going to do his garage sale. Put yourself in front of people. Questions? Comments? Great.
More for brokers in the room. Are we seeing penalties for what we post online, since it's rules change and then things are up there in perpetuity, right? I mean, so let's say we say something today and it becomes against the rules next year.
Well, it shows when it was posted too. There's a date. It was posted, right?
I would say no, Michael, even though there's a lot of abuse in regards to other individuals advertising someone else's listing without permission. Right. When I sit on these panels, I'm not saying things like that, actually. So I'm just saying violations of analyst rules and regulations, and people contesting the fine, even though they're guilty of the violation. But no, nothing like that. It's very interesting. It's very interesting.
Also, I think if the law changed after your post was posted, you could just say
It'd
it
be
was posted
grandfathered
before.
in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about that. But I'm surprised that there aren't more complaints from agents who have properties listed and someone else is advertising their listings without permission. Right. I don't see any of that in regards to these hearings that I'm a party to. Surprisingly.
I feel like Cecilia did a good job when you present, like, be general. Like, take what's on the MLS, something that we were discussing last week. Take the specific and then generalize it and kind of blur it a little bit.
Also, you guys, what I've read, YouTube is huge.
Yep.
So maybe this thing of, like, maybe you do a market update of, I don't know, 10 minutes, and then you can use bits, because that's what people do on YouTube. They do a humongous video, and then they use that same 12-minute video and do little bits on social media. And everything on YouTube is ritual, because it creates also a transcription of what you're saying. So if you're talking about a very specific market update of Orchard Hills, wherever, it's going to know. So I think Google won this one, because, it's what Google wants to give you.
I would say YouTube was really an emphasized at this Tom Ferry seminar.
YouTube is
Over and over
everything
again.
right now.
Posting on YouTube.
Create a channel.
So what about Facebook and LinkedIn?
So this is the thing, and this is horrible. You have to be everywhere. You have to be on Facebook. You have to be on LinkedIn. But the thing is, imagine you create this 10-minute video for YouTube. That same video, then you just do edits and post the exact same thing everywhere else. Because the thing is, I'm not asking you to post different things on different channels. It's the same thing. So when the crawlers from social media go after things, they see your descriptions. And where the crawlers see it in the internet, it matches. Everything matches.
there are apps out there or services that you can post one and then it auto populates to all your platforms. Right?
In a way, it's how Meta Suite works. If you have one thing, it goes both to Instagram and Facebook. You know, so there are other companies that you can do that and post everywhere else. But yeah, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to call Carlos to call me or contact me. Thank you.
All right, well, then
Oh God, I'm sweating, you guys.
Thank you. That was very informative. A lot of information.
so has everybody turned their cards in, by the way, for the drawing? You know, what's interesting about the Tom Ferry seminar for 3 days? They didn't give all the detail that she went into. They said, yeah, we can sell this to you if you become a coaching member, right? You know, you become a part of the program. So that was great to see. Everybody turn their cards in? Sarah, Jay, yeah.